In this video, we'll look at the order of operations, or PEMDAS, and it tells us if you have a string of numbers, in what order do you do these things so you can get it down to just one number. Now, if you were to put this in Google or a calculator, it would be able to do that automatically because it has it programmed in it, but we're going to practice it by hand. Most of us remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, as a way to remember the order of operations, but that's not actually true, because that would tell you start with parentheses, then exponents, then multiplication, division, but pause right there, because multiplication and division are a group, so you don't do one before the other, you actually do them at the same time. Same with addition and subtraction, those are a group. So let's rewrite it and get rid of that. If we write it like this, then we start from the top still, work our way down. Start with parentheses, exponents, but when we get to multiplication, division, we work from left to right at the same time. Then we do addition and subtraction at the same time from left to right. Okay, let's practice. So parentheses, we've got 14 minus 5. Let's highlight that. And we also have these brackets here. These are also technically parentheses, so we are going to get all of this down to just one number as well. Just FYI. Okay, 14 minus 5, we get 9. Now, if you just have one number with nothing immediately in front of it and no little number like an exponent, then you don't need the parentheses, so let's just get rid of them. Checking parentheses off, we then move to exponents. But we don't have any that we can tell, right? Because we don't have any little 2s or 3s or anything. But a square root is an exponent. That kind of looks like a turtle shell. So think of it, turtles in a half shell. It is actually 9 to the power 1/2. So that's what we're going to do for the exponent. Square root of 9, what times what gives you 9? 3. So now we're done with exponents. Okay. Multiplication, division, this is where it's easy to mess up with the old way, the bad way. And so please use my book, the new PEMDAS here, to do it correctly. Multiplication would tell us 3 times 3, and that would get us 9. 9 divided by 9 would give us 1 in the brackets if we did it this way. But we won't. We know better. We're going to go left to right, so we're going to do 9 divided by 3, and that'll give us 3. Then you can just drop down the times 3 right there. Okay, now we still want to do everything in the brackets. So 3 times 3, 9, and we're good with multiplication. Or are we? Because now at this stage, most students think 22 plus 6, 28. But we actually have to multiply those two together first. A number in front of a bracket or a parenthesis means multiply. So 6 times 9, 54. Now we're done with multiplication. So finally we add these together, we get 76, and we're good. That's it. On the next board, why do you not use PEMDAS when you have an equation? Very briefly, I'll go over, this is a scale or a balance where you want to keep both sides balanced the whole time. And because we have a minus 3, you always do the opposite of what you see. So you would add 3 to both sides to get rid of those. Drop everything down, 4x, and then 28 on the right side. Do the opposite of what you see again, opposite of times 4, divide both sides by 4. Those 4's cancel. Finally, x is equal to 28 divided by 4 and 7. Now, one translation of the word algebra, which is what this is the art of putting things back together again. It's kind of like when you break your arm and you put it in a cast. You're just kind of fixing it by putting it back together again. That's kind of what equations are, or how you solve equations. But notice you actually did PEMDAS backwards. You did addition as your first step. Then you did division as your next step. You're just going this way. So just a side note on why you don't use PEMDAS for these ones. And then one last one for you to practice. Feel free to pause and try this one on your own. Okay, assuming you have, we know we're going top to bottom, so let's highlight parentheses. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm just going to make that disappear as many times as possible, I guess. Okay, 5 minus 3, and that's going to give us 2 inside the parentheses. So we're done with parentheses. Then we're going to do the exponent. 2 squared, it's going to give us 4. So let's write that. Done with exponents. And then we highlight multiplication and division and do them at the same time. 2 times 4, it's going to get 8. 15 divided by 3, 5. And we're done with that step. Now, put yourself on a number line, and you start at 5. So positive 5. Then, if you do minus 8, it just means you move to the left 8 places. You're going to end up at negative 3. Put yourself on a number line again. This time you start with negative 3, so you're 3 to the left of 0. But then you move to the right 5 spaces, you end up at positive 2. So that is our final answer because we finished addition and subtraction. But one final thing that might be helpful, when you have a 5 and a 5, or by that I just mean when you have positive numbers in this step, you can actually combine those together and just get 10 minus 8. And that's another way to get the 2 there as well. So I hope you found this helpful. Please promote my new book, and I'll see you in the next video.